Attention. We now have control of your streaming device.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you this evening?
Howdy.
Hello, my darlings.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome, everybody in the chat. I see Master Yoda, Strong Island, Woody's 420, Five Baked, Maya Lore, Canna Brad, howdy.
Hello, hello, hello.
Happy Tuesday, guys. What you got going on? Oh, Monster's already having a coughing fit. We know the party has begun.
Yep.
What are you hacking on over there, bud? You got something good in the bowl?
Smoking a J.
Yeah.
Must be a spicy one. Is it
This is
let me guess.
anaphylaxis.
I was not gonna guess that one.
I wasn't gonna guess that one either.
No, this is I don't smoke much of it because it really fucks me up.
Well,
It's like
true to the
sativa.
name, it's gonna choke you out.
Yeah, it's very sativa dominant, but it still gives me that like indica effect that I'm looking for, but with a little bit of uplifting. And the taste on it's awesome. It's like kind of cushy, hazy, a little bit of citrus.
He's trying real hard not to cough
Ooh.
right now.
Yeah, this shit's took my lungs for hostage.
Well, feel free to cough all you want, man. Just hit that mute button if you can, right beforehand, and then remember to unmute yourself too, because we need your input. How
It's
about
like
you?
a lot of things to do.
I know.
Yeah.
Clicking and
You're not my dad.
just asking you nicely. You don't have to listen. Well, yeah. What about you, G3? What you got?
I don't know, honestly. I kind of run into that a lot. So I like to roll J's for the show, but I don't always get through them. So I kind of leave them here. So it's either Goondocks from Goonie Genetics or Strawberry Wedding for Big Green Guy. I think we'll find out in a minute.
So it's either going to taste like strawberries
It's either
or
going to taste like, because I can't really smell through it.
Boondocks.
Yeah. Like
Take
it's
a dry hit.
nothing.
Yeah, give it a little toot. See if you get any strawberry.
Toot, toot.
That's Strawberry Wedding.
She
Yeah,
knows.
so Strawberry
Right,
Wedding for Big
Strawberry
Green Guy.
Wedding. Cool.
Fuck that guy.
They're practically
He does good work.
neighbors.
Gotta give him that.
He's a piece of human filth. Of course, I'm just kidding.
One of the paragons of our community, sir. You showed BGG the respect he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
So I got something new tonight that I am excited
Surprise,
to
surprise.
break
Tote
into.
number what out of how many?
Oh my god.
We're number 3 out of
I'm still in
9 or something.
I'm not even like halfway through my trim jail sentence. I have trimmed 2 of my 7 plants so far, and just like it's gonna take me a long time. They're just chilling in the totes, doing all right
Trimming sucks.
in like a cryogenic storage kind of thing. Like gonna get to them when I have time. But yeah, trimming fucking sucks. It does.
When I come across people like, oh, I love trimming. I'm like, you haven't grown enough weed yet. It's just that simple.
Exactly right, dude. When you have enough of it, it surely does become a burden.
For the home grower, when you already have a stash backed up and you just harvested, it's like there's no huge motivation to get that shit trimmed up because you're sitting on gaggles of weed already.
I know.
You know,
I got
so
full jars.
Is there
of
any real reason to trim other than like you want to trim it
aesthetics.
before you smoke it?
you don't
For
want to store
multiple
it too long
reasons.
untrimmed, otherwise it'll get hay.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If it affects the actual plant itself, like what you want to keep. If it's a negative thing to keep it on until right before you smoke it.
I don't know. Honestly,
I always trim my stuff. I plan specifically so I never have more than 2 plants at a time
that's
to
smart.
trim.
Smart. Yeah, looking at 7 of them is daunting. But I got through 2 and enjoying the hell out of them. This one is the second of the 2. It is an Autoflower from 2020. It is that Afghani auto.
Very colorful.
It's
Huh?
chunky.
Chunky baby, yeah. Like, you know, very, I would say, yeah, I mean, thick, thick boy buds. And it's got like a piney, lemony, zesty kind of note to it on the nose. Maybe a little bit of earth, a little bit of that dirt smell. Maybe a touch of gas too in there. Pretty complex, honestly. Like really, really nice looking bud. Yeah, this is fresh out the totes. Let's give her a whirl here. And look, I brought up my hemp wick.
I thought that was a quarter stick.
Yeah, right. My little M80.
I light it with this and then I throw the M80. It's fun.
Reminds me
Like
like, yeah, dude, fucking
It's a
smoke
Philly
bombs
thing.
as a kid. Was that from It's Always Sunny?
No. It's from my random warped fucking twisted mind.
Okay. Fair enough.
Close enough.
Original material.
Because the people that write that show are pretty twisted.
Oh, dude, definitely. I was watching some of the new season. I think, what is it, like season 16 or 18 or
That show's still
Yikes.
yeah,
they
dude,
still make new
they're
episodes.
still making episodes, and they all look like pretty old now. It's
Yeah.
like you're like, oh my
Especially
god, they're not.
fucking what's his name? The DeVito.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, it's funny because it's like DeVito's aged the least out of all of them.
Yeah.
He still looks like he did when the show started, more or less. It's all the other guys. You're just like, oh man, the passage of time is brutal. But
He was already old.
yeah, right. He was. Remember him as the Penguin in that like Batman
Yeah, it was
movie of the
one of the
90s?
worst Batman movies ever made.
It really was.
It was uncomfortable to watch.
Is that the one with Michael Keaton?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Terrible.
think so. Was there a Catwoman in that one, or like?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the one with the Riddler, was it?
No, it was
Jim
Penguin
Carrey?
and Catwoman.
All right. The one with Jim Carrey was like a few years later. It was pretty bad too.
Yeah. Honestly, most of the Batmans were pretty bad. I think they kind of like Dark Knight was really, really good. The second Dark Knight, whatever, Dark Knight Rises, is that what it was called? Was decent. Other than that, I could take a leave the rest of them, honestly.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I liked Batman Begins somewhat, just like a little bit of the
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
long-winded backstory. I can get down. But you know, so this Afghani tastes like it smells.
Well, before we go any further, I think we should touch on this. Do you think Batman smokes weed?
Man,
What? How is that even a question?
I don't.
He's a billionaire philanthropist playboy. Of course he does.
I don't.
He lives in a cave, after all. You think he grows weed?
No.
I think Alfred might.
With
yeah,
all that backwater
Alfred
he's
could.
got? Yeah, Alfred's definitely a pothead. That sick fuck.
I mean, Robin definitely tokes. Robin, he's high all the time. He doesn't have a idea of his own. That's why he follows Batman around all the time. Like,
Yeah, because
just
Batman's got the dank in his
like,
pocket.
yo, Batman, you got any more of that backguano weed that Alfred grew? I don't know. Valid question, man.
So, yeah.
Here's another one. Of all the superheroes, who do you think would grow the best weed? Would Batman or Superman grow better weed?
Superman.
With the kryptonite?
Yeah.
Put some kryptonite crystals in his pot.
Yeah.
Harness that energy. Fucking A. Johnny has a good. Johnny's right. He says poison ivy.
She's a villain. She's not a hero.
A skank.
Semantics, G3. Come on.
Dude, you specified.
True.
I brought us down a rabbit hole.
Well, it's a good question. I'm sure we'll have a couple more opinions out there. Yeah, keep them coming, guys.
This joint's still burning strong. I'm loving it.
Well, fuck yeah. You're making me jealous, man. I want a joint now. I just got this bong in my hemp wick.
This is my favorite part of the joint, when it's like half left and it's still burning like a fucking champion. It's barking at me. And I can just keep ripping it. Get stoned, and more stoned.
Hell yeah.
This is going to be a hell of a show.
I was just gonna say, we actually do have a topic tonight. I mean, we are talking autos once again, guys. I mean, we got Autoflower grow along, the Night Owl grow along with the fine folks over at Your Average Grow.
I gotta go see my boy Rusty.
regular
He's got some
party.
Night Owl beans for me.
Oh, yeah?
I gotta jump in on this.
Yeah, get
Hell
in
yeah,
by
you
the
do.
16th-ish. We're still open.
Oh, we gotta
Come hang.
overnight you some fucking beans, man. We only got 6 days. I'm sure they'll make an exception for the monster if you really want to get in. But
That's what the ish is for.
16th-ish.
Like, if you need a couple days.
Well,
I'm not
we'll
gonna
talk
be
after
like,
the show. I got plenty of packs I can just
Word.
share. But so yeah, the Night Owl grow along, great way to like kind of rev your motor back up after maybe some downtime during the holidays. Get a new year started, new grow, and it's a quick turnaround. We're talking autos, so like it shan't be longer than 84 days before I chop these plants. You know the rules. So I wanted to kind of just do another rundown of some autoflower tips and tricks that we can all kind of hang our hats on and hope to not stunt our plants this time. We can all take, by 6-7 weeks in, we'll be taking amazing pictures, posting them to IG and Discord. So I wanted to, the first thing I wanted to get into, which the last episode, which was, what was it called? Like, you still suck at growing autos or something. Monster made a really great recommendation towards the end of the show that I think we can get right into right off the bat, and that is starting them immediately on the bloom nutrients.
Yes. This is something I've wanted to do for a while. I experimented with my last round of Sacred Watch. I was extremely happy with the results. I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer, right? Because people say autos are sensitive to newts, and they are in a certain way, but I think that the thing that they're most sensitive to is nitrogen. And if we can eliminate that right off the bat, now most of your bloom newts, if in fact, all of them that I can think of, still have some nitrogen in it, which the plant needs. You can't cut out nitrogen altogether. Okay. So, yeah, stick with that.
An excess of nitrogen.
Yeah, I think you still get just enough nitrogen. And think about what an autoflower is, right? At its purest form. It's a plant that's going to flower no matter what. It already has it in its DNA to flower.
Yeah.
So if you can get ahead of the game and pack it up full of phosphorus and potassium instead of nitrogen. Yeah.
I agreed, man. Like, I mean, I kind of when you kind of convert the life cycle of an auto to a photo period, I think we have discussed it on another show before, but again, it could be someone's first episode listening here. So, like, when you look at when an auto starts to flower, it's like what, day 15, day 18, maybe day 21,
Mm-hmm.
when you see that first pistil. That's already a week after you've switched, change your light cycle, growing photo periods. Like, you don't see a single pistil for at least like 5 to 7 days after you flip your lights. So you're already at like day 15. At some of the earliest I've seen is like day 13. Some of them start to pop pistils. Like, you're already a week in flower. That means like these things are literally born to bloom, right? Like Bruce Springsteen, like, baby, we were born to bloom,
Fuck that
something
guy.
like that. Yeah, man. Not my favorite artist, but decent enough. If we were doing like a compilation album of Autoflower inspired classic rock songs, that would definitely be on there. Right as you get woken up at 2 a.m. by the commercial of the 1-800 number flashing on the screen. Call
That is
now.
not a thing anymore.
Join this amazing club where we will send you CDs and cassette tapes. What was that shit called, man? Like, did you guys do that? I mean, I definitely did that back.
Yeah,
in
I
the
did that.
90s.
Never paid for them.
It was like the Columbia House or
Yeah,
something.
like they send you like 12 CDs for a penny.
Yeah, Columbia
and then,
House.
And then you're supposed to order more. And then you order one, and then you get it, and then you don't pay for it, and they don't send you anymore after that. It was the biggest
Really?
fucking scam. Yeah.
Fuck that. I thought it was well, maybe it was a different service, but I definitely had like some
There was a couple of them. They had Columbia
mail,
House, BMG.
I got
Fucking-
mailed different albums and cassettes and stuff. But man, yeah, definitely different times. Holy shit. What's the other one?
Autoflowers.
I'd always wake up to that Enya,
Oh my god.
Sail Away. Yeah, Autoflowers, G3. So the born to bloom theory, I think, holds a lot of water. I've experimented with it myself in organic setting. I have the one soil that I've recommended before called Strawberry Fields is like Fox Farms bloom specific blend. I had great success with that stuff. With my
Not super
autos.
easy to get in some places. I
Yeah, I
cannot
don't
get
think
it.
I've never really even seen it. I've only heard of it.
Strangely enough, like out here in Prohibition land, that was the one. Like, I couldn't find Ocean Forest. I couldn't find Happy Frog. Those were the two I had heard about.
Oh my gosh, they're freaking everywhere around me.
And
I can't get away from them.
I was like, oh, it's Fox Farm though, so I'll buy that. And like, this was like my first, second, third grow way back. And I love the stuff. It's like it's a cocoa heavy blend that's like bloom specific. So high on the P and the K, low on the N.
Yeah. And if you're worried about not having enough nitrogen at all, because I mean, a lot of bloom newts do drop your nitrogen way, way down. You can always just throw in some like worm castings. You're fine. Fixed.
Absolutely.
Done.
Worm
Because I did
castings.
that with this one. I have these 2 mango smiles that I was supposed to flip to boys that I never flipped to boys. So now I have them growing in the same tent as these 4 night owls in auto pots. So that's going to be fun. But I have them directly on bloom newts. Went straight there even from the beginning. And I would say that they looked a little nitrogen hungry at the beginning. But give them a tea with some castings, and it's fine.
There you go. For sure. Worm castings are one of the best things you could do in like a supplementation kind of setting.
Camera doesn't know
That looks
justice.
good, Monster. What's that? The
Lemon cava.
anaphylaxis? Ah,
Cava.
Yeah, I'm gonna mix it up and roll up the joint of the cava.
nice. Nice. Yeah, worm castings. If you're deficient on nitrogen, I mean, you know my favorite product, that bud bread. That's what I would use. If you're seeing a little, N deficiencies popping up, it has a blend of immediately available and like a time release nitrogen. Really, really hard to burn with that kind of
Is bud
stuff.
bread considered veg newts?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's considered kind of an all-in-one formula. Like, I mean, you could just use that. You could.
Then what could you just use coming of age?
No, because there is actually no nitrogen in that. Like it's like a 0,311, I think, on that one. I mean, in like the born to bloom theory here, like I would do a very light mix of the bud bread and like maybe double dose of the coming of age, which is the flower specific blend. You know, you don't want to overdo it with any of the nitrogen. It's just you can always add it, but like Monster said, I think we have
Those
learned that
sacred
autos
watch
can
I
be
grew were
nitrogen.
super fucking tall, with bloom newts, and the buds stacked hard, and I didn't see much tip burn. I don't know. I think it's a recipe for success with autos,
For sure.
personally.
For sure. Another key component of a recipe for success with autoflowers, I would say, is being like spot on with your seedling stage. The first couple weeks, you really, really, really want to get those down as good as you can. You don't want to stunt the plant at all when it's developing its root system that's going to carry it through the rest of its life.
It's the most important time, really, and I think that's where everybody fucks up. Especially they helicopter over the fucking thing. They leave their humidity domes on too long, or whatever, or they overwater, or just leave the fucking thing alone and let it do its thing for a couple of weeks. I promise you, it will come out better.
It is
'Cause
so
I'm not
hard to
gonna lie. Like,
do.
look, I love all you guys, but I see your autoflowers, and they're like, dude, how much you getting out of that? Like an ounce and a half, 2 ounces? You can do better than that. I promise you.
Oh man, I see it too, man. These sad looking plants, and they're like,
Yeah, like, and the
I think I
buds
might
look
get 2.5 ounces.
like, the bud looks great, and like I'm sure it smokes good, but like, dude, you fucked yourself there, man. You fucked
I'm
yourself.
totally guilty of that too sometimes. I just did that to my dazed. She came out terribly. 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 She like went through huge temperature fluctuations. She was stunted to hell. It was awful. And I've got years and years of experience under my belt, and I knew exactly what I was
Yeah.
doing and stunted the absolute ever loving hell out of her.
It's not hard.
It
It's
happens.
not. We're not coming down so much on you guys out there, like though you guys do really suck at growing these things. I mean,
It's
but
easy to suck at growing autoflowers.
we're also coming down on we're giving ourselves pointers because I'm in this grow along now, so I'm trying to give like a refresher course on autos. I am not trying to stunt these things before they're old enough to pop pistols,
Oh man, I'm trying my hardest right now.
So, like those first 2 weeks, really, like Monster said, I think leaving them very much the fuck alone is gonna go a long way, and you like not traumatizing them so they have some serious like mental hang ups in later in life, like a lot of you guys out there probably, like your
I
parents like
think
fucked you guys up, and
you know what I've come across, a couple of
don't do
people
that.
that have grown autos and they're stunted. As I noticed that their soil is too compact. They have it packed way too tight, and that is something y'all need to look out for. Add something to it, whether it be clay pebbles, perlite would work, but it's like the last thing I think you should fuck with because it all just floats to the top eventually. But like lava rocks, um, fucking rice hulls, whatever. Get some more aeration
Yeah,
into your medium, a little
extra
bit less
aeration.
compost, and don't pack that shit down so tight. Like I don't, you shouldn't pack your pots at all.
It's
If
a
you
great
want to,
point.
No,
I pick them
do
up
not
and put
touch
them
the
down.
top.
Yep.
I like,
Yes.
Just
you know
like
what I mean?
Pop, pop, pop.
tap them,
Yeah,
tap
and
tap
that's it.
Don't touch the top of your soil.
tap tap. Like when you finish peeing, just a little tap tap, and you're good to go.
Is that what you
Otherwise,
find,
even
G3?
from the beginning, I mean, even if you're like packing down your soil enough, even from the beginning, when it's trying to grow that first taproot, it's fighting way too hard and using too much energy to grow too short of a distance. So you are already stunting from the get go. So even from that, pay attention.
Agree. Agree.
You're already fucking shit up.
I that's a great point, guys. Like the he's got another joint. Oh no. Oh man, that one's
Yeah, big
big
one
too.
too.
That's a big one. Hell yeah, that's a party. But it, I think the how would we describe it? Like the density of your soil in the pots, like
How
it.
compact your soil
There's
is,
a
really.
Goldilocks zone. Like it doesn't, you got to fill the pots, but like don't fucking compact that soil. So the plant roots are going to struggle to work their way through it. In the same vein, make sure that your like initial watering is A, thorough, and B, even. And get all the dry pockets completely eliminated. We don't want any dry pockets anywhere in our soil. Where there is a dry pocket, there will not be roots. Right?
Yep. I do that before I put the seed
God
into, not
damn.
afterwards.
It's a spicy joint.
Dude, if y'all ain't on the fucking grow bags, get on the grow bags. I just pulled that shit out. This shit has been sitting here for like 7 months. I haven't grown cauliflower in a while. And
It's still tasty.
it's fucking beautiful.
Nice. Right on. Right on. Where were we with our autos?
Watering, beginning stages.
Watering. Beginning
Something I like to do in
stages.
the beginning too is I'll take a water bottle, poke a hole in the cover, and water around the plant, make it stretch out for that water.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Not just
what do you
autos.
mean? What do you mean?
So like, and you'd be tempted to water the plant in the middle, like where the seedling is. A
Uh-huh.
lot of times I'll just water like around it in a
2
circle.
inches
Oh yeah,
from the
yeah, yeah.
base. Yep. At least
It
2
makes
inches
it go
out.
out and makes the roots reach out and branch out and want to look
You
for
know
that
what?
water.
And you mentioned it. That is such a just great like general point for any plant.
Hmm.
Any plant. Like in nature, the plant will typically like shield the rain from like hitting right around the base of the plant. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be like a much drier pocket at the base of the stem because the plant's going to shield the rain from hitting there. Just it branches out, the roots grow stronger. So yeah, I agree. Little concentric circles when you
Hmm.
water. From like the outside in, and don't get any closer to that stalk than like G3 said, 2 inches
At least. Yep.
at least. That is a good point. Another, when they're in the seedling phase, you want to be very conscious of environmental conditions too. At least, if you're trying to grow a big bad, one of these big bad autos that's like 4.5 feet tall at the end, like you can't slow them down at all. So like watch your VPD in that seedling stage. It still matters, even if they don't have much foliage to be like transpiring from.
I'm glad you mentioned
but
that.
it
That's
still
another thing
matters.
people overlook. Get your humidity up, especially right now in the winter. It's tough, right? Generally speaking,
Hmm.
your humidity is going to be low anywhere you are. Um, get it up. It's important. Plant can't transpire if there's not enough humidity in there.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And we're talking like
Especially if you're trying to like keep your lung room or inside your tent warm and you've got heaters running, that's drying everything out really, really fast.
yes, indeed. True story, G3. I got a space heater, like a little Honeywell, not the ones we recommend, like the radiator looking thing with the like
Hmm.
oil space heater. No, I got a little like forced air Honeywell thing. It works, but man, it dry that air out in a hurry. So
Hmm.
if you don't accompany that with a humidifier, you're gonna have a bad time.
Right. And if you have a heater in your tent, it's going to dry your soil out faster too. So pay attention to what sides of your plants are closest to that heat source. Rotate regularly, try and keep them away from that direct heat. Make it more ambient whenever possible. And pay attention to your soil because that stuff is going to dry out faster than you think it should.
Good point.
I hate growing in the winter. I find it so much more complicated.
I
There's
love it because I
pros and
save a lot of
cons. Yeah, like
electricity.
I think
Um,
I honestly find it easier, but
I
I'm
hate
able
it.
to not have to run air conditioning, right? I can just use extraction, and
yeah.
like my lights are powerful enough to heat up my room during the day, and at night, I need to supplement with a little bit of heat.
I
Um,
run the opposite way. In the winter, I have to run a heater, but in the summer, I'm in my basement, so it's cool enough
Oh,
down here that it's perfect in the summertime.
Basements are always great
there you
place to
go.
grow if
Yeah.
they're clean and dry,
Hmm.
because you're underground. The temperature is going to stay within 5 or 6 degrees all year round of whatever it is, so it's easy to you know dial that shit in.
It does get chilly down here in the wintertime now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Keep your plants off the floor if you got them down in there. Get some sort of
Hmm.
riser or
Pot
something
yeah. I
like that.
promise you, they
risers.
don't like cold cement floors.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's all subjective. I guess we all have our struggles, like no matter the season.
Yeah, I'll
Which
if we're in the middle of summer, I'll bitch about summer. If we're in fall or spring, I will bitch about those. No matter what, there's always something that's difficult about growing.
100%. Now, little sidetrack off of our auto discussion because you kind of brought up a little side quest here. We got a shit ton of rain over the last couple days. I don't know if
Oh
Monster
my
probably
god.
got some. Maybe some of it was snow, but
Yeah,
like,
rain
oh
and
my
snow.
god, it was
Torrents for
raining
hours.
insane
Ow.
amounts. Yeah, and like crazy floods everywhere still today, all day, and like,
Oh my god. The winds.
yeah, it was
Insane.
nuts.
It was nuts.
So what happens if we're growing and like a fucking hurricane hits or a nor'easter in the middle of January and like your electricity goes out? I mean, what can we realistically do? Is there anything like, let's say you don't have a generator, like you're in the middle of flower, like worst case scenario. Is there
Well,
anything we can do except just like, cross our fingers and hope the fucking electricity comes back on soon?
you can have some battery powered lights on backup, and those aren't going to really help your plants photosynthesize. But what they will help is keep the plant on cycle. And it doesn't take a lot of light to keep the plant awake from falling asleep. So if you do lose power and your lights are supposed to be on, get in there with some battery powered LEDs and throw them in there. Um, yeah,
My
you can do that
lord.
too. Look, a
This
power
is
inverter is not that expensive. You can get one and connect it to your car, but you're limited most of the time on how much you can actually draw from those things. You're not going to be able to run a whole tent unless you have like one of those like electric cars. They're a bit different. Like the
He
Ford
says,
Lightning.
yeah, like maybe a higher voltage output or something. He says he still lost it all. That sucks, man. Like, I guess it it depends like how badly you get hit. Like, I think in a lot of cases, man, if you don't have a generator, you're probably just fucked. I hate to say it.
Look, if you're known to lose power, get yourself a fucking generator. They're not that expensive. You can get like a 5,000 watt generator for $500-600.
Yeah,
Yeah,
power
they're
a whole
not that
tent with that. Like,
and you
sorry,
get
hun, we're not plugging the fridge into this. We're in mid flower, and I can't we're not doing it. Nope, we're saving the girls.
nah, I got a Generac, so I'm lucky. That's propane powered, full house power. When I lose power within 5 seconds, backup power's on and I run
Nice.
completely as
Nice.
normal. But that came with the house, you know. So because if somebody already, I wouldn't probably put it in myself. It's quite expensive. You're looking at like 10 grand, generally speaking, for
Mm.
your average home. But a regular run of the mill Harbor Freight generator will fucking do you just fine.
Cool, man. Well, I got hit with a lot of flooding in my basement, so it had me think. You were
Ooh.
talking basements and growing in the basement, man. If I had an active grow in my basement right now, would have been bad news bears.
That happened to me one time and it was awful. It was awful.
What happened?
Cleanup was disastrous.
Oof.
Yeah, because like it's underneath your tents and it kind of soaks into some of the fabric of them, and drying all of that out and making sure nothing like mildews or molds is it's just so much cleanup. It is a pain. Yeah, I would definitely recommend if you know that you have water issues near your grow, figure something out before you're in that situation.
For sure. In my case, I had a sump pump failure. It was a
And
nightmarish.
I mean, there's chances you're going to run into it at some point or another. Some natural disaster is going to hit your grow.
Amazon has sump pumps pretty cheap. Don't go to Home Depot or Lowe's.
All right, word. Good to know. I'll use code CC10 before I
There you
check
go.
out too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends if and when you get hit, guys. I mean, I think there's a varying degree of like natural disasters that we could all like kind of imagine ourselves having to deal with. Depends where you live. I guess our best advice is just be prepared. Know your region and how susceptible you are. Be prepared to a certain extent, but like after shit, if the grid goes down for a couple weeks, ain't no saving those plants. Though if you do have a good enough generator, then you'll be the only one with a crop after so long. You know what I mean? Like post-apocalypse scenario, you'd be like sitting on a mountain of weed. Like a few months later, you'd be like, you could sell
Or
that
solar
for
with a battery
gas.
backup. That's even better.
Yeah, they have those like little jackery things they call them
There
with
you
the
go.
little battery backup. Why not?
For sure. For sure. All right, so back to the autos. Another key, don't fuck your plants up kind of tip from me, and it runs in the same kind of thought process as like leave them alone. We want to put our light at the top of the tent at 100% from the get-go. We want to let our plants grow into the light. Grow into the light. What was that movie? Fucking Poltergeist?
Poltergeist. So good. I love that one.
Really scary. Really scary.
So good.
Yeah, so we're allowing our plants as much light as they want from the get-go. They determine kind of how much they're going to get and grow up to like whatever point they feel is necessary. In my experience, I've always had way bigger autos doing that method with my lights than trying to like adjust the dimmers or how far away the lights are from the canopy. I think you're just top of the tent, 100%. Let them go.
It's the easiest way. I mean, if you like fucking around with your light, by all means, but at least use something like Photon or a Apogee or something to make sure you're measuring what you're doing and not just doing it because it feels right. I don't know. There should be some method
I
to the
like not having to.
madness.
I like not having to think about it. You know.
Yeah,
I
I
just.
do too. I just leave it alone. One less thing to fuck with.
I think even without a photon or any kind of measurement, we can trust that a properly sized light for the space you're growing in is going to provide enough light for your plants at all stages of their growth. Like, and we're talking like in the 30 to like 40 watts per square foot range is it's not a great way to measure your light, but like it's pretty general. It gives you like a ballpark, like how much watts, how many watts should my fixture be?
Now I'm generally running multiple fixtures in a room. Like for instance, I have a room with 3 480s in it. I only turn on 2 of them during the beginning stages, and I kind of bunch the plants together a little bit. And that's just because I know those 2 lights are more than enough to get things going. But they're up at the top, cranked up, and then generally, as soon as I see the plant shoot off its first set of leaves, I'll spread everything back out, put them in their final resting place, and turn on the last light, and let them fucking go.
Yeah. Now that being said, if you do have an undersized light for your space, then by all means drop it down.
That's not going to work. Yep.
And make sure that your plants are getting enough light.
For sure. Though you could play like if you're trying to grow a really tall, though maybe it'll be a little lanky kind of plant, like let the seedling stretch a little bit, looking for a little bit more light than you're giving it.
It's a dangerous game, Cap. That's a dangerous game.
Just let that thing look for light, If you, and then gradually ramp up the lights as it grows, week 1, week 2, week 3, you're like maybe turning them up 10-20% each week.
The more it's stretching above the soil, the less energy it's using to grow roots below the soil.
Look, we know how I feel about dimmers.
That's a good point.
I fucking hate them. They tax your light.
Wait, what do you hate?
Dimmers.
Oh yeah, that's the weak link in the chain, man.
It really is. You could have the best light on the fucking planet, and the dimmer inside of it sucks hog. Okay.
You got to get one of those electronic like light controllers.
Yeah, that's the only way to really do it like the right way. But then I've even seen those fail as well. Yeah, I don't trust dimmers. Like if you want to give your plants less light, just raise your light higher. And if you want to give your plants less light than that, get a different fucking light. We're talking about it. Like your plants are small, right? I see so many people fucking with lights and like, oh, how many inches do I put it away? And this, if you just try it. If you haven't done this yet, just try it. Take your light, put it at the top of the tent, crank that bitch up, and just try it. Let's see how you do. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised with your results.
You might not be pleasantly surprised with your electric bill. I mean, that's
truer words have never been spoken.
That's the one catch, but the sacrifices we make to grow the dank. It's just when they send you the bill and it shows you like how much more you use than your neighbors.
Oh yeah, that's always funny. Like, I always get a good laugh.
Oh geez.
I see those and I go, ooh, I win.
Like,
I win.
I am certainly not. I am definitely using my share of electric. I'll tell you that much. I'm not conserving. Gotta
Yeah,
do what you
that
gotta do.
first electric bill after you start growing is kind of a rite of passage. That it hurts
It
a little
does.
bit.
You're right. You're so right. No pain, no gain.
I'm
G3,
telling you, honey, I promise you, it's worth it.
dude. I thought it would go. Honestly, I thought it'd go up less than it did. Like, it's not like. Listen, I spent way more money at the dispo before I started doing this hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Way more
I
money.
was just having this discussion with my friend. Like, we were willing to set him up with like a light and stuff. Like, he needed to spend like $300 or $400 to get set up, like full 4x4, and he just wouldn't pull the trigger. He's like, I just can't afford it. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, how much you spend at dispensary? He's like, yeah, well, that would mean I would have to not spend that at a dispensary for a month. I'm like, I don't know, man. You got to figure it out because it's kind of
Yeah,
ridiculous, you
no,
know?
there was that first like 3 months where I was growing. I didn't have any harvest yet, and I was still buying weed at the dispo. That was painful. You invest in your equipment, and you're like hoping for that harvest, and it hasn't come yet. But we're past that, way past that. But I think there are a lot of expenses in this hobby. One of the primary being your electric bill. And then if you have a seed buying addiction, like that's a whole other story,
Yeah, that's a different fucking story
But
altogether.
you can be as thrifty as you want. At the end of the day, I was smoking enough to make this hobby well worthwhile for me. Um, you know, I was spending way too much money at the dispo, like so. It was kind of a. It had to. There was no way it couldn't be worth it, sort of. So
And if you aren't already on a budget electric bill and your electric company provides that, where they like balance it out over the year, if you're a beginner grower just starting growing, make sure that you're doing that because then you have 12 whole months until they balance it out again. And that's a problem for future you. So,
yes. Always put the problems onto future you.
Yep, it's the American way.
Because that, honestly, you know what? Future you might not even be there. I hate to sound like a downer.
mm-hmm.
That's my retirement plan.
It's retirement shit.
Early
Yeah,
onset death.
yeah,
That's your.
that's my retirement plan.
There you go.
What are you gonna do when you're 80?
Oh,
I'll be dead.
I
Die?
ain't gonna live that long. It's actually a smart retirement plan. Shit, if you want to be like realistic, economical about it.
Every day is a gift.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it is truly. So yeah, like back to these autos, guys. Back to these autos. I think the top of the tent, 100% method, tried and true. Give it a whirl, see how it works for you. Don't come crying to me about your electric bill. Another great recommendation I have. They're not necessarily a tip or a trick. A heartfelt recommendation. Though some of you may vehemently disagree, I think a dark period is essential for your autoflowers to
If you
be
do it right.
big and healthy.
If you do it right.
And what would you mean by doing it right?
Well, the dark period, right? So what's your dark period? At the end?
No, I mean like a light cycle dark period. Like
Oh,
you know what I
yes.
mean? Like
You mean like a sleepy time?
correct. Yeah, not
Yes,
not a
lights out.
24 hours on
Yep.
light schedule.
When you say dark period, that makes me think of that 48 hours before chop of darkness. But I understand what you mean by
sorry.
that.
Well, let's call I don't know. We'll have to think of a different term for the yeah.
No,
I
dark
know.
period does make sense. My brain just didn't go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yes, your night
I
lights out.
nighttime.
I've done it both ways, and I've seen no discernible difference in the plant either way. So that would just tell me like there's no need to run the lights 24 hours a day. I we just talked about light bills, right? And how expensive it is. Well, if you
Yeah.
could save 4 hours of running your lights, I think you should do it. Um, with that being said, though, like for real, like I've tried it both ways, and I've seen no discernible difference. The plants are completely happy in 24-hour light. They just keep going like nothing ever happened. Eventually, they will just droop anyway, right? Because they've just had enough.
I can't
So
possibly agree that a plant in light 24 hours with no time off from that particular process. Like plants must have different processes going on
Yeah,
in
don't you
daytime
always
and at
find,
nighttime. They
at least
must.
I find that like most of the growth will happen at nighttime too. Like I'll
no,
come
I've
in
grown
after the
monster
night lights
fucking
out and
plants
they're
with
like,
24 hours of light. I've seen no discernible difference in the health or size or anything when it comes to with
because they're
autos.
like,
Anyway,
I just can't imagine that they'd be
you
happy
don't
that
know.
way. That's just my
like
personal opinion. To each
Yeah.
some of
their
the
own. They
biggest
certainly
plants
do grow
I've ever
fine.
grown were in 24-hour light. Really, now that I think about it, but I don't think it. Again, it's I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. Save a little money on your electric bills, save some tax on your equipment. All right, just I recommend 20. When people ask me, I just recommend 20 on, 4 off.
That's
I
my
think it's so
go-to.
humorous that everybody always says 20 on 4 off or 18 on 6 off.
Well, since those are your standard cycles,
I do 19.5 just to be
because you're a rebel.
obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's I've been, I think they're all the same basically.
Yeah.
I've had
If you really
similar
want to save
results.
money, you can go 16.8, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
I'll
don't
go.
just don't start once you're at 14,
Yeah, once you dip below 14, you're gonna risk the plant
you're
Oh
messing with
God,
flowering.
now we're
stuff.
getting crazy. 17 and a half and 6.5.
I love it. Yes.
Man,
I'm more of like
just
a
asking for
17 and
trouble.
three
Five
quarter,
baked.
like 6.25, But
It's funny.
yeah.
I approve.
Very funny. Definitely will recommend that as a light schedule. You know, I know you can do it, Monster. I don't know if you will even see a difference. I don't know if there will be a visual difference. But like G3 saying, I think there has to be some process, some plant process that only takes place during the dark that's going to influence like the
I just don't see it. I
terpenes,
mean, like for
the
instance,
trichomes.
like
There has to be.
Mi- like I know for a fact Mephisto grows their autos in 24 hours of light. They don't give their plants a dark cycle.
Are they? But I mean, are they growing theirs at a warehouse for like breeding purposes, or are they growing them for
Well,
like to
both,
make them as dank as possible?
both. I mean, if you go back, all you got to do is go back to the forums. With Brad and them talking about Mitch talking about like how they consume, and they've kind of said the same thing. They've noticed no discernible difference between giving an autoflower a dark cycle or not. The only reason that they do run 24 hours just because it's easier for them to control the environment that way.
Fair enough. I mean, yes, when lights go out, like you will have a much more difficult time to like achieve a stable environment. I
Mm.
agree with that. And if there is no discernible difference, then if you're having like environmental control problems, like then fucking run 24 hours of light. Like if that's a solution for you, go for it.
I think that's something that actually uh, that a grower will struggle with the most is the
A dark
nighttime.
cycle environment.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah, because they at first they don't even realize what's going to happen, right? They didn't pay attention that day in science class. When the temperature goes down, the humidity goes up, and it's a recipe for disaster in your grow. Most people don't even think about maintaining a nighttime temperature. They just shut their lights off, and whatever happens, happens. No, seriously, like that's 90% of the grows I walk in on, and I ask them how they do things, and then I'm like, all right, so what happens at night? Oh, the lights go off. Okay, do you have a dehumidifier? No. Do you have a heater? No. Wow. I mean, uh, you know,
So what are you trying to achieve then like in your environment when the lights go out? Like, are you just trying to keep it as similar to the lights on environment as
I
possible?
want I want a swing of no more than 10 degrees and no more than 15-20% humidity swing.
I can understand some kind of control, but we're theoretically trying to reproduce nature as closely as possible inside. So outside, it definitely drops in temperature at night and it definitely gets a
Sometimes
little
it
more
doesn't.
humid. So, sometimes it's significant. And I don't know, like, you've seen the plants, they naturally like raise and lower their leaves in preparation for lights out. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I would
that's
just
the
like, why would we step so far away from the most basic element of growing? It's the cycle of the sun.
because
If we're
because
trying to
we
replicate
can
nature on the
G3.
inside.
I don't think a lot of growers aren't really trying to replicate nature at all. Like, I mean, we're putting them in a as artificial of an environment in a lot of cases as we can, and then like pumping them full of salt fertilizers and like demanding that they produce like way too many flowers for the size of the plant. You know, like they're bred to like be kind of like overabundant in their flower
That's why
production
you do
now.
you kind of works
Yeah,
here.
it
Like, this
is.
plant can be whatever you need it to be. If you want this to be if your tent is a shrine to the mother goddess and you're trying to replicate everything from sunrise and sunset to living soil to,
Then give your
big
plants,
no-till beds, then that's very different than somebody who's looking for some other aspect out of their grow. So,
you
to
know,
each their own.
amen. You know, I think again, I think, which is just like my opinion, man, that a dark cycle, like a dark, like bedtime, sleepy time for plants is a good thing. I am on board with the sleepy time for plants. But I know it's like people have, like, this is honestly one of the things I hear a lot.
I think it's important for
People
photo
talk
periods,
about it a lot. People get
but
heated about it.
but not necessarily for
Mm.
autos.
Well, that's the debate is like,
I
we're
mean,
talking about autos now. We're like, I mean, I think so. Matsu, you mentioned like even when you have them on 24 hours of light, you will see at some point the leaves start to like droop, right? Like they've
generally,
had
yeah,
enough, right? And then you just
yeah.
keep pumping them with light, and eventually they just like perk right back up. Is that what
Hmm.
happens?
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly
but
what happens.
why would you not like respond to that signal of plant stress? Why would you not like?
Just because it's easier to just leave it at 24 hours. If you're dealing with a situation where it's hard to control the environment, leaving the lights on 24 hours a day is just so much easier. Like I just said, if you're having issues with environmental control, nothing easier than just leaving the lights on 24 hours a day. And this guy here brought up a good point.
It is.
Ruderalis is was bred, when in 24-hour light. Its origination is from that. I don't think it really fucking matters at all with autos. Um, Photos is a different story. Like you wouldn't want to veg your photos in 24-hour light. I don't think that is doing you any favors. You're definitely wasting money that way. But
Would
like I
you?
go,
Would I know that autos are built to handle that much light? If you put your photo periods in 24-hour light for veg, would they freak out?
no, because I've done it as well in the wintertime.
I don't
Like
think so.
no, I
Just
think that you
wondering.
get like a little bit of a more lankier plant that way.
Hmm.
I don't think it's quite as strong. I would say,
Hmm.
um, but I haven't noticed a difference with autos. And
Interesting.
and that being said, it's in the same process. Like if I have no issues controlling environment for that dark period, I will go to like a 20 or 20 and 4 with autos, just because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because I haven't noticed that much of a difference either way, positive
Mm-hmm.
or negative. So to me, it just isn't worth it to pump them with that extra light. That's just kind of a waste.
I hear you. I hear you. If you're gonna if you're gonna go down that route of just pumping them with light because you can, you may see like denser buds. You may find a more early ripening plant. You have to always read the plants. We read and respond to the plants as growers. And yeah, like if you're gonna amp up the lights, you're gonna have to amp up everything else
Everything. Yeah,
too.
you're gonna have to feed
Mm-hmm.
more. Yep.
That's the key.
Food,
Is like
water,
yeah,
everything.
more water, more food, more attention, more. I don't know. It's just you everything has to be in balance. You can't just like
Mm.
crank up the lights and then like not give it more nutrients because it's
No.
gonna be photosynthesizing more then. So it's don't put your foot on that gas pedal unless you know what you're doing, right?
Correct. And look, if you're cranking your lights on 24 hours a day because you're having trouble maintaining your environment, look into getting a heater or a humidifier. Like for instance, that heater you were talking about, you have the forced hot air one. Those are great not only for heat but also dehumidification purposes.
Oh yeah,
Like if you're having a hard time controlling humidity, heat will help you, especially those dry air heaters. Like there's a technology we use in larger grow rooms with HVAC systems called reheat, where we don't even run dehumidifiers. We run reheat. We let the air conditioners take care of that with heat as opposed to dehumidification. It's much more
interesting.
dependable and cleaner, with less swings. It's not practical at all for the home grower because you're not going to be running it through your home's HVAC system, right? But so heat can help you, and it's a lot easier to heat up a space sometimes and much quicker than, like, for instance, if you wanted to use that, if you put that on a control like a humidity controller, like an AC Infinity or something, and you actually had that set to come on and off based on humidity parameters, it would work really well.
I have to agree. It sounds like a
Mm-hmm.
pretty easy way to do it. We got a good question here from Master Yoda. If you grew an autoflower in 10-hour light cycles with 2 hours off and gave it its
I was
full
waiting for somebody to bring
DLI
this up.
in each light cycle, like you like split your day into like 2 half days, right? So you got a 10-hour
The
lights
answer is
on,
yes, it would
2 hour
work.
lights off. Could you grow an autoflower in half the time? Is the question.
Oh, not that. No,
Like
no,
which I would agree with. I think it would work. Like I don't think the plant would behave any differently. I
no. There are
really
people
don't.
that actually veg their plants like this, but it's like a two on, two off, or some shit like that. Like,
That anaphylaxis.
so
I forget what that's called too. That's used in like some other parts of cultivation, other plants, like intermittent light cycles, or like splitting the day into a couple parts to either prevent or induce some sort of fruiting or flowering cycle. You all right, monster?
I don't think
yeah.
it.
No, I was looking because there's different light cycles that I've seen people run with cannabis, um, and that's what it's referred to as intermittent light cycle. I was trying to look for the exact time, but it's like on off, on off, on off, like multiple on off light cycles, and it can actually help speed up your veg time, at least in theory.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the thing with like this is where I'm gonna disappoint you. In my experience with autos doing that type of shit, like for instance, throwing an auto in a flower room, right, where it's only getting 12 hours of light, which I've done multiple times, they don't get as big and they take longer to finish. So I don't know if doing this with the 10-hour light cycles, and I don't think it would speed anything up in the plant at all. I mean, I could be
I'm
wrong.
not sure. I mean, honestly, like, you got to fuck around and find out now.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I was just
I
gonna
mean,
say.
really, like, I think
Somebody should do this.
now I'm wondering,
Mm-hmm.
like, would
Yoda,
because
you're very tech savvy. You got the means. He's got a nice setup. I recommend you give it a shot. See what happens. Like even
because
if you
like
just do
yeah,
it in like
you can grow an auto with 12 and 12 like 12 light cycle. But what if we just did like just a series of 12 and 2s? You know what I mean? Or like
yeah.
a 10 and 2. 12 and 2. Like that would equal out to be about the same light cycle you'd want for autos. It would just like divide the day into kind of two parts. But in doing that, would you like kind of force the plant to behave like days are shorter? Would it respond and being like, oh well, lights, days are now 12 hours, 14 hours?
So do you think you're saying asking if it would like droop in preparation for nighttime?
No, I mean, like, would it
You know,
Or
the
would
more I
you be
run
able
this
to
in my head,
harvest it in like 42 days as opposed to
no, I
84?
don't think so
no,
because it
I
still
think that's
requires a specific amount of energy in order to produce what's required of it in its life.
So
So
it's just an overall
whether it gets
like
that in
DLI.
one fell swoop during the day or in two shorter chunks, it's still the same amount of energy that's required. I think the difference would be negligible, and the only thing you might lose in doing the two shorter periods is that it takes a certain amount of energy to switch from daytime processes to nighttime processes and back again.
mm,
So by forcing it to do it twice in a cycle instead of just once, I feel like it would slow things down. So I think that if you split it into two, you'd have a slightly smaller plant, but it would still take the same amount of energy.
now I'm high as fuck. So take this into that in consideration.
We all are.
But like this is spinning in the wheels of my head, and like logically, I'd like to say, and this is my hypothesis, that it would finish quicker. It wouldn't be like half, like dramatically, because that's just ridiculous. But I think I'm going to conservatively say that you could probably knock 10%, maybe 15% of your time off.
And
You
like,
think?
if
That's
you,
what seems logical to me.
I
Yeah.
think what he's also saying is that like, if in each one of those then divided lights on periods, you're giving it like a full dose of DLI, like a full day's worth. If you didn't divide the light cycle in half, like what if you doubled the DLI in each one of those shortened
Well,
lights on periods?
Well, that's different.
You can't just double the DLI. There's only so much the plant can take without burning it.
I mean, so is that a thing with autos? There's another question. Like, do we worry about our DLI with autoflowers? I mean, you can certainly have like too much, like PPFD. You can have like way too much light in a tent. But if we just give it, like, if we shorten our lights schedule, then can we counterbalance that? Can we, like, if you just, do you see what I mean? Like, if you blast the hell out of your auto for 10 hours and then give it like a 4-hour dark period and then turn the lights back on for 10 hours, blast the hell out of them way more than you would normally, like, maybe it will shorten the
I think somebody
harvest
needs to fuck around and
window.
find out.
I don't know.
Yeah, the
I'd like
problem is
to.
you'd have to do it with autos because if you try to do it with photos, they'd end up flowering.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to see you pull it off, Master Yoda.
Try it out, dude. Think like maybe we just found a shortcut.
Where
It's
it was
interesting.
like way
You
too
really-
high.
One of like your uncle's shortcuts where you just end up like driving around. in
Dude, I'm
circles.
telling you, I know for a fact that this will take the time off our travelers, man.
Yeah, an
This
hour
is my
later,
second
we're
kid,
still
so
going.
I'm fucking heavily medicated right now.
Yeah, man. No. It's like you got my noggin jogging, Master Yoda. It's funny. It's a good question. Yeah, guys. I don't. Are there any other? I'm asking everyone in the audience. Do you have any other auto specific tips you want to share with us? Anything like secret sauce you got?
Just
I'm
the
going to
tips,
spill the
please.
beans. And what about you guys too? You have any tricks of the trade?
Keep it simple.
Yeah, I want to reemphasize that. First 3 weeks of that autoflower's life are crucial. Again, my beginner tips: don't overwater because you're gonna fucking do that. I know you. I'm talking to you. You know who I'm talking to. Don't overwater. Don't have your soil too over compact, and don't burn them. If you know, I. It's funny. Like I've seen more burnt autoflowers with people growing organically because they think that they can't burn their plants. Stop it. This is nonsense. You can burn your plants organically.
It's
And it's
harder to do,
it is and it
admittedly,
isn't.
but
Like,
like,
you know, like these little seedlings get burnt so easily. I see it happen all the time. You look at it, like every edge of the leaf is fucking yellow and it's just
yeah,
burnt and like
well,
sucking inside of the bud.
one of the things, honestly, I think you got to be more on the lookout for if you're an organic grower is like be careful with your mycorrhizal usage, especially in the seedling stage. Like we've all had that experience where like you get it in the wrong place. Like that will kill a seedling if you get it on the plant itself. Like it's not meant to go there.
No, it's meant to go on the roots.
Yeah. So be careful. Just just saying. Um, if you put it in like a water bottle, make sure you're not, make sure you wash that out, and refill it with just water before you use it to like spray a seedling or anything like that. I've made that mistake. But man,
Label everything.
what's that again?
Label everything.
Yeah, labels, labels, labels. Agreed.
And maybe don't, if you have like, if you need to use a sprayer for multiple different things and you're rinsing and reusing, maybe just get another sprayer. Use something different for it.
Yeah, they're like $2 at Home Depot, even with inflation. Just they're not that expensive. And don't buy the ones from Dollar Tree. They suck. They're literally a waste of money because
They
they
do.
always break. Like ask me. I bought 6 of the things before I finally said stop. It's like the definition of insanity. Because literally, all right, yeah, it's tempting because it's $1 or $1.25 now, right? But like the quality one at Home Depot, like the commercial Zep sprayers, they're like $3. Just fucking buy that one. A spray bottle is so handy in the grow room. I mean,
Man, I
have a few
agree.
of
Get
them.
4,
Get a
label them
pack.
with different things.
Yep, 100%.
I agree, guys. 110%. How do you feel about that?
Oh, okay.
Above and beyond, sir.
So, Monster, you just mentioned like the pillars, I think. The three or how many was it? Couple. There's a couple pillars of not fucking up your autos. And they are don't overwater, don't overpack your medium. That
Mm-hmm.
was in there too, right? Right, right. And
Yep.
then
Hmm.
don't burn your plants, whether it's by too much light or too many nutrients.
Yep.
Mostly it's too many nutrients. I mean,
Yep.
really, yeah, those are three of the core tenets for sure. You
All of
know?
it boils down to there's too much of a good thing. Don't overlove your plants.
Yeah, I agree. Autoflowers are meant to be automatic. They will do their thing and thrive with or without your input.
True
Actually,
story. That's what they
preferably
were referred
without
to before autoflower. It was automatic,
automatics. Right?
which is
Strong, independent women.
They are.
Don't suffocate them. Your
Yeah, they need
love
their
will
space a little
drown
bit.
them.
They need their space for sure. And like the things that you do to overlove them end up being more traumatizing than beneficial, as I'm sure many parents can attest to.
yeah, 5. That's what you want to do with your autos. Let them grow into stronger soil. Start out
So
with
the
something
question
little.
is, Do you plant in lower newt soil and let them grow into richer soil, or is it all one kind?
Yes. Yes and yes. Yes and no. Soil is, I mean, I look at soil as there's hot soils and there's not hot soils, you know?
Yep.
You kind of have to, I mean, how do you know which is which? You know, we rely on other people's testimonials. We can read what's in the bag, but like ultimately it just gives you a little percentage, you know? It'll say like 0.005% nitrogen and just very, very low numbers, right? So what does that really mean for us? I think you just have to rely on like consensus of the community at that point. Like, you know, there's a list of not hot soils I could give you, like Happy Frog, right? I would say is a primary one on that list, or the strawberry fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not hot,
Loco.
good. Yeah, the
Pretty.
Coco Loco,
Yeah, and if you want to,
or even like a more inert stuff like Pro Mix.
yeah, Pro Mix is
Mhm.
perfect because it's peat based, right? If you want to maintain that soil thing that you got going on there, it has a little mycorrhizal for shizzle in there,
Mycorrhizal for shizzle.
and it's inert, right? So it would make a good top layer to your pot, right? Um, you need more than you think, at least, you know, because I tried this experiment with the water only cocoa, and I put inert cocoa on top, but not nearly enough. And I too stunted my autoflower, got burnt, and it just wasn't happy with life. So,
Do you know what I've
and
started doing?
what's that?
Is I use this instead of like a layer of cooler soil and then a layer of hot soil underneath it. I do the same thing, but in the center, I do a column of cooler soil all the way down. And I think this was originally thought up by, I'm sure it was, I don't know. I originally heard it from Stony Alpinist, so that's who I followed it from.
Instead
So
of like
the column all the way down in the center, so
like
your
that.
taproot stays in the cool soil all the way down, because they're not, the taproot doesn't really send out feeder roots. So then the feeder roots
So
go
how do
out
you
into the
pour
richer
out your
soil and bring
pot
everything
to
back.
have like that? Seems like a pretty challenging thing to do. Where you would need
No,
some
I
sort
have
of like tube or something.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
yeah,
A
like a
tube.
pipe, like a PVC pipe. You stick it in the middle
Yes.
and you backfill around that, right? And
Yep.
then you
or like a bowl or something you
yeah.
put in there, like a
Yeah. You can even, if you're really good, like do it as you fill up. You know, if you have the two different soils next to you, you can have it and then kind of like spread out the center and keep it cooler on the inside and then rebuild up. But yes, I use it. I use
Yeah.
just a PVC pipe
You know,
and it right down the center.
I have thought of that. Like as I'm doing it, I'm like, you know, really, you want like the center of the pot. Like if you're doing it right, like yeah, you want that not so hot soil to be going all the way down.
Yeah.
But do you? Because like when we take the plants out of the pots at the end after harvest, like there's roots all throughout that soil down there, right? Like it's solid ball of roots, usually for me. So they definitely put out feeder roots. They're definitely like utilizing that hot soil that's at the bottom.
I think
don't
it's just a preventative to make sure you're not shocking your taproot at any point and causing any stunting that way.
That's a good thought. I like it.
I think it is a good thought, but by the time the plant gets big enough, it's not going to matter. Like it could take that shit.
More or less, like I mean, I think by the time the plant's like 10 days old, 12, 14 days old, it's going to be growing into the hot soil wherever it is in your pot. You know what I mean? Like it's really just for that like very beginning of the seedling stage. Like it's like it's brand new. It's like looking around the world like, "Oh my god, where am I? How the fuck did I get here? What is my purpose?" And then you're just trying to like pump it full of nutrients and organic shit. You know, it's just like sputters
I would
out a
at
little
least
bit.
certainly dig down at least a little ways. And at whatever point your cool soil mixes with your hot soil, make sure it's not just like one sitting on top of the other. Like mix them together a little bit so there's some gradation in there. That will at least
Like it.
help with any shock that could potentially be there.
I like it. One more here question in the chat. We got Cap. Did you switch your top layer of soil from Coco Loco to Strawberry Fields? No, I didn't. I'll be honest. I find that Coco Loco and Strawberry Fields are very similar. The only difference is they say the Strawberry Fields is formulated for flower. That probably means there's more P and K in there than in the Coco Loco. The Coco Loco, I would say, has more like compost mixed with more earthworm castings, that kind of stuff. A little bit heavier of a soil ultimately. In the auto pots, for any kind of like butt chugging style watering, like that really light, super aerated soil blend is what you're looking for. So I hope that answers your question. And yeah, guys, we're about to hit like an hour and a half. So let's wrap it up for tonight, shall we?
I'm high as a motherfucker.
I know you are.
I went
Shit.
to 2 fat cannons.
Absolutely. Well, do we have any new Patreons? Shit.
I don't believe so this week.
Well, then let's skip that segment for this week.
Well, we love the Patreons that we have, so thank you so very much, my darlings. You guys are wonderful.
Thank you, G3. We do. We have such a great group of growers, smokers, listeners, stalkers, all of the above. Yeah, like they're all our friends. Whether they listen to us for growing knowledge or just because they're lonely and just need a friend or two. Like we're here for that, guys. Like whatever you need us for. Just no stalkers, please. Yeah, 5 baked. I see you out there. But yeah, guys, it's been fun. We appreciate you listening live. We appreciate you guys coming over and hanging out in Discord with us. I don't know about you guys, but that's where I find myself checking first these days. I don't go on IG first anymore. I go to Discord.
I just
I don't go to IG
started posting on IG again.
Isn't that funny?
I need to. I feel bad. I haven't been there in a while.
Fuck
Isn't
IG.
that funny? Instagram, had its day in our community, but like,
They make it impossible for us to post, and lo and behold, we don't want to post. Funny how that works.
Right. I just made a new YouTube video. If you're...
Yay.
I watched.
There you go. There's a lot of what we talked about last time. Thanks. But yeah, go check it out if you didn't hear enough of my voice. Got some more on YouTube. And until next time, guys.
Keep in touch with yourselves.
Do that. Grow on. And yeah, don't get caught, most importantly.